Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today.
Yeah.
Into some pretty mysterious places.
Well, very mysterious, like Mount Kailash.
Mount Kailash.
And the Bermuda Triangle.
And even the Lost City of Atlantis.
Atlantis, yeah. Those are always fun.
Yeah, we're going to see what
Big topics.
what those have to offer us.
Yeah.
And our source material today
Okay.
is a book called Secrets of Mount Kailash, Bermuda Triangle, and the Lost City of Atlantis.
Okay.
And just full disclosure, it is a fictional book, but it uses these real world mysteries as like a jumping off point.
Yeah, a springboard.
Yeah, as a springboard to explore all sorts of
For sure.
fascinating
Concepts. Yeah. Looks
And-
like a fun read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the book kicks off with a discussion of mysteries and magic.
Okay.
And the author actually starts by sharing his own personal journey.
Mm-hmm.
He started as a firm believer in magic, right? Like a true believer.
Yeah.
But then over time, he kind of started to question things.
Oh, a little skepticism crept in.
A little skepticism crept in, yeah. And he actually
Just
shares his
off that
experiences.
of even witnessing like magic tricks firsthand,
Oh, so
and how those experiences kind of planted the seeds of doubt.
like seeing how the sausage is made.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it kind of made him realize that, even if magic does exist,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that it's always going to be used for good.
Yeah.
It could be misused.
Right. It could have
And that,
dark side.
yeah, darker side, exactly.
Yeah.
So that brings up some interesting ethical questions, right? Like, okay, sure, teleporting would be awesome.
That would be fun.
But if everybody could teleport, that would be a lot of
Oh my gosh.
chaos.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how would that even work?
There'd be no traffic laws.
There would be no traffic laws anymore.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so moving on to our
Yeah.
first location.
Right?
We've got Mount Kailash.
Mount Kailash.
This mountain has such a deep religious significance, especially for Hinduism,
Yeah, Hinduism.
Buddhism,
And Jainism.
Jainism, yeah. And it's interesting because each of those religions, they even have their own names for Mount Kailash, which I
Right.
think really highlights its
Importance.
cultural importance.
Cross-culturally.
Yeah, across these different belief systems.
Yeah.
For Hindus, Mount Kailash is the abode of
Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Powerful deity.
powerful deity.
Yeah.
For Buddhists,
What
it's considered the home of Buddha Demchok, representing supreme bliss.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And then even for Jains, it's a
Yeah.
super sacred site connected to the
Tirthankara.
liberation of Rishabhadeva.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, their first Tirthankara. So it's incredible how
And
one location can hold
Diverse
some diverse
religious significance.
spiritual meaning for so
Yeah.
many different groups.
That's true.
But I do want to clarify, there's sometimes a misconception
Okay.
about Mount Kailash represents four
Since it-
different religions.
Uh-huh.
It's sometimes Christianity gets lumped in there,
Oh, okay.
but it's
It's like just those three.
yeah, those three that you
And the Bon religion,
oh
too.
and Bon.
Yeah.
So, okay. Are you ready to delve into
Do it.
the Bermuda Triangle?
The Bermuda Triangle.
This region is so notorious for
Mysteries.
those unexplained
Yeah.
disappearances, right?
Disappearances.
Ships, aircraft
Yeah.
just gone.
Yeah.
And the book highlights a bunch of these different cases.
Okay.
Um,
So what do they got?
For example, Flight 19.
Oh yeah, Flight 19. You familiar with that one?
I am, yeah. Weren't those the Navy bombers?
Yes, it was a group of 5 U.S. Navy bombers that vanished during a training mission back in 1945. And it gets even weirder
Oh,
because the rescue plane that was sent to find them
yeah.
also disappeared.
Double disappearance.
Double disappearance.
Seems crazy.
What's interesting is the book actually points out a little detail that I hadn't heard before. The lead pilot of Flight 19,
Yeah.
he was actually known for getting lost.
Really?
Easily. Like, this
Right.
was a known thing. So
Right.
it kind of makes you think about, the role of human error.
Yeah, and all this mystery.
All of this, yeah.
That's a good point.
And then there's the USS Cyclops,
The Cyclops.
which was a massive Navy cargo ship
Ew.
that vanished
Yeah.
in 1918.
Over 300 people on board.
Over 300 people just gone,
Yeah.
and no distress signals, no wreckage, no survivors. It's crazy there.
Do you have any theories in the book about that one?
Well, they have lots of theories, but none of them are definitive.
Okay, agreed.
There's always just like a question mark hanging over it.
Sure.
And then there's the SS Cotopaxi,
Cotopaxi.
another cargo ship
Could happen that.
that went missing in 1925. It was sailing from Charleston to Havana.
Mm-hmm.
Never made it.
Never heard from again?
And the book, it emphasizes that there are all sorts of theories about these disappearances, right?
Like what?
You've got storms, structural failures,
Possibly.
pirates even.
Yeah.
But nothing
definitively
explains it.
Right.
So it leaves you with that sense of like,
wonder what happened.
What happened?
Yeah.
And what I find really fascinating is the book's argument that maybe we're so drawn to these places because they offer an escape from our routines. Yeah. Right. Like we get that thrill of the unknown. It wakens our sense of adventure.
I see. It's like a
break
from the mundane.
Yeah, a break from the mundane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And speaking of exploring, the book takes a really interesting turn when it starts talking about history.
Oh.
And specifically, it kind of challenges the commonly accepted view that human history spans millions of years.
Millions.
The author, he points out that we don't really have
physical evidence
like ancient cities or complex structures dating back further than just a few thousand years. So his question is, if civilizations existed for millions of years, shouldn't we be finding more traces of their existence?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
And you know what really blows my mind?
Yeah.
He actually throws out this idea that maybe humans were created by aliens, and that we were like pre-programmed with different languages as a way to
divide us. Oh, okay.
I know, it sounds crazy.
It's a little out there.
But it really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Like, what if there's more to our origins than we realize?
Right.
And speaking of things beyond Earth, the book also delves into his belief.
What does he think about?
That Mars was likely destroyed by a nuclear war.
Whoa.
Yeah. Which is a pretty unsettling...
Given the current
global climate.
Yeah, state of the world.
Yeah, exactly. And what I found really
interesting
is how he actually connects this.
He connects it
to the Russia-Ukraine war.
Oh, okay.
And claims that he was actually instrumental in preventing nuclear escalation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it just kind of gives you a glimpse into his worldview. Right.
Sure.
It's this blend of spirituality and anxieties about humanity's future. And then there's his skepticism about the moon landing, which is rooted in his own out-of-body experiences. Oh. He even compares space travel to a near-death experience, which is a pretty unique perspective.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, are you ready for a journey to Shangri-La?
Shangri-La.
So this is this legendary city.
Oh, I've heard of Shangri-La.
That is said to be hidden beneath
Mount Kailash.
Mount Kailash, yeah.
Okay.
And it's all about achieving
enlightenment.
A state of enlightenment through meditation.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
And it's
attainable in this life.
Well, that's
not like the afterlife.
That's what's fascinating is the book really contrasts this with
the afterlife.
The concept of an afterlife.
Okay, so different realms.
Shangri-La is portrayed as this realm of wisdom and peace that you can access
in this lifetime.
Yeah. Through meditation and spiritual practice.
Yeah.
Whereas the afterlife is, what might await us after beyond death.
Yeah.
So it's like two different ways of conceptualizing paradise, right?
It's just a paradise.
He actually claims that Shangri-La isn't just a mythical place.
Nope.
It's an actual state
of
being, a heightened level of attainable through meditation. Right. And he even shares his own experiences of trying to access this.
That's cool.
Which are pretty wild.
Yeah.
So now the book doesn't just stop at Mount Kailash and the Bermuda Triangle.
Right.
It actually takes us on a little tour.
Okay, where do we go?
Of other mysterious spots around the world.
Nice.
We've got Machu Picchu.
Oh, Machu Picchu.
Mount Shasta.
Even the Devil's Sea.
Ooh, the Devil's Sea.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah, like a global scavenger hunt. For the unexplained. And what I found particularly fascinating was his description of Mount Roraima. Which is this
tabletop
mountain in South America.
I've seen pictures. It's pretty cool looking.
It is very cool.
Yeah.
And he talks about how its unique geology and magnetic anomaly have kind of inspired all these tales of lost worlds and strange creatures.
That makes
you want to
Go exploring.
Go exploring, right.
Yeah.
And speaking of exploring, the book,
what's it got for us?
Delves into some pretty personal accounts.
Oh, okay. Encounters.
Real life encounters with the unexplained.
Oh, unexplained stuff.
For example.
Give me an example.
He talks about Bruce Gernon's encounter.
I've heard that name.
Have you?
Yeah.
With what he calls
electronic fog.
Electronic fog. Yeah. Have you heard of this?
I have heard of that, yeah.
This is a strange phenomenon that supposedly warped time and space.
Time and space.
During a flight.
Like a time warp.
Yeah, it's like a time warp, right.
Mm-mm. Interesting.
And then there's the tale of the Ellen Austin.
Okay, the Ellen.
Which was the schooner that encountered a derelict ship.
Oh, a ghost ship.
Yeah. In the Bermuda Triangle.
Okay.
And they tried to tow it back to port.
Mm-hmm.
But during a storm, the abandoned ship
vanished.
Just disappeared, leaving the crew bewildered. Right. It's like, where'd it go?
Where did it go?
Yeah.
These stories really
make you wonder if there
are forces at play that we just don't understand. And speaking of things that defy explanation,
okay,
the book takes a
deep
dive into the author's unconventional ideas about history. Okay, what does he say?
So he doesn't believe.
He doesn't believe what?
Human history is as long as science suggests.
As long as science suggests.
And get this, he proposes that humans...
Yeah. Humans what?
...might have been created by aliens. And pre-programmed with different languages.
Oh, to divide us, he said?
Yeah, as a way to divide us.
The common theme with him?
I know, right? It sounds crazy.
It's a little out there.
But it's really...
interesting.
It makes you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's his perspective on Mars.
Yeah.
He believes that the planet was...
Once inhabited. Okay.
By a civilization that destroyed itself through nuclear war. It's a chilling thought. Especially given the current global climate.
Yeah, the state of the world right now.
And what struck me was how he connects the Russia-Ukraine war to this theory. Claiming he was instrumental in preventing nuclear escalation.
So it gives you a glimpse into...
his worldview.
Yeah. This blend of spirituality and anxieties about the future of humanity.
Yeah.
And then there's his skepticism about the moon landing.
Oh, he doesn't believe in the moon landing.
He's skeptical. Yeah. He's rooted in his own out-of-body experience. He even compares space travel to a near-death experience.
It's a unique perspective.
Very unique perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
So... what else we got?
Are you ready to delve into...
let's do it.
The mysteries of Shangri-La?
Shangri-La.
Okay, so this is this mythical city said to be hidden beneath Mount Kailash.
Right.
And it's a realm of enlightenment and peace. That's accessible only through meditation.
Wow, okay.
And what's fascinating is the book actually contrasts this
with the afterlife,
with the idea of the afterlife.
Okay, yeah.
So Shangri-La is portrayed
as something you can
achieve in this lifetime.
In this life.
It's a state of
consciousness,
heightened consciousness and inner peace.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas the afterlife is something
that awaits us
after death.
Yeah.
So it's like two different ways of conceptualizing paradise.
Right.
An author actually describes his own
attempts to access
Shangri-La
through meditation.
It
is cool.
He believes it's more than just a mythical place. It's an actual state of being that we can tap into.
Interesting.
So now the book doesn't just focus on Mount Kailash and the Bermuda Triangle.
What else is there?
It takes us on a whirlwind tour.
Oh, cool.
Of other mysterious spots. It's like we're suddenly
dropped into
a global
scavenger
hunt for the unexplained.
Oh, I like it.
We go from the ancient ruins of Machu Picchu to Mount Shasta, which is a volcanic peak shrouded in Native American legends and even rumored to be a UFO hotspot.
Oh, wow.
And then
we're
whisked away to Mount Everest.
Mount Everest, okay.
The tallest mountain on Earth with all its
it's
human triumph
and tragedy.
And the book even highlights this somber fact that many bodies remain
frozen on its
slopes, serving as haunting reminders of the mountain's unforgiving nature.
Yeah. And then we're...
It's a tough climb to the Devil's Sea.
In this region...
In the Pacific.
In the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
As infamous as the Bermuda Triangle.
Okay.
For all sorts of unexplained maritime disasters.
Maritime disasters.
It's like he's giving us a crash course.
Oh, that's cool.
In all the places on Earth.
That make people
whisper
about the unknown.
Right.
And he does a great job of
bringing each location
to
life.
Weaving in historical legends, local legends, even scientific theories about what might be causing these strange phenomena.
It's pretty cool.
For instance, when discussing Mount Roraima, he talks about how its unusual geology and magnetic anomalies might be behind the stories of
Lost worlds
and strange creatures.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That have been reported in the area. Yeah. It's amazing how he connects.
He connects all these
seemingly disparate places and phenomena together.
Yeah.
It makes you realize that the world is full of these interconnected mysteries. And that maybe there's
a common thread
running through them.
Running through them all.
Yeah.
And speaking of common threads, the book delves into some pretty fascinating accounts of personal encounters with the unexplained.
Unexplained.
The one that really stuck with me.
Which one?
Was Bruce Gernon's.
Oh, Bruce Gernon.
Electronic fog experience.
Electronic fog, yeah.
In the Bermuda Triangle.
I love that story.
So this is so weird.
The pilot who claims he flew through a time warp.
A time warp. Yeah, he described this
bizarre
cloud tunnel that seemed to transport him through time and space.
Shortening his flight.
By
a lot.
By a significant amount.
It's crazy.
It sounds like something
straight out of
a science fiction novel.
It really does.
And then there's the spooky tale of the Ellen Austin.
Oh, a ghost ship, yeah.
The schooner that encountered
a
derelict ship. Yeah. In the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
They tried to tow it back to port, but during a storm, the abandoned vessel vanished.
Leaving the crew
just utterly perplexed.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
And what I found even more fascinating was the author's willingness to share his own personal journey from a staunch believer in magic to a more skeptical perspective. He talks about witnessing magic tricks firsthand and how those experiences led him to question the nature of reality. And the possibility of
true magic.
Yeah. He even realized that even if magic does exist, that it has
the
potential to be misused.
Right.
And that opens up a whole can of ethical worms, right?
Exactly. Imagine if everyone
could just teleport. Or become invisible at will.
Yeah.
The chaos.
Yeah,
it makes you think about the responsibility that comes with any kind of
extraordinary ability.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready to dive into another intriguing concept from the book?
Hit me.
The idea that humans might actually be connected to a galactic force
that's influencing our evolution and destiny.
Whoa.
So he describes these beings as possessing advanced technology and wisdom, but he says they lack the spiritual depth of our own
gods.
And he even suggests they might be behind some of the unexplained phenomena that we see on Earth, like UFO sightings.
So UFOs and the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle.
Right.
It's like he's painting this picture of a
cosmic drama playing out
on a grand scale.
With humanity.
Humanity caught in the middle.
Caught right in the middle.
Yeah.
He even claims to have had contact
with these beings.
Describing them as benevolent and concerned for our well-being.
Okay, a bold claim.
Yeah. But it makes you think, right.
For sure.
What if there are these forces out there
that are
influencing our evolution and destiny? And what I found particularly intriguing.
Yeah, his belief that these galactic forces are guiding humanity towards a higher level of consciousness.
Right. It's like he's saying we're on the verge of a major evolutionary leap.
And
these mysterious forces are nudging us
in the right direction.
Yeah,
but he also cautions that we have a choice to make.
Oh, a choice.
Yeah, we can either or
embrace our spiritual potential.
Embrace our potential or
and evolve
or fall victim.
Or fall victim
Through our own
destructive tendencies.
Yeah. So it's like this message of both hope and warning.
Yeah.
Right? Like we have
the
potential to evolve.
But we have the potential to destroy
ourselves. And speaking of wise choices, the book takes a deep dive into the author's unconventional views on technology.
Oh, right. Technology.
So he seems to be both fascinated by technology, but also wary of its potential consequences.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of...
two sides of the coin.
Yeah, two sides of the coin. And he talks about working in the field of artificial intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
And expresses this concern
about
AI surpassing human intelligence.
Yeah.
And potentially controlling us.
I mean, it's a concern a lot of people share.
It is.
Especially these days.
Yeah. With how rapidly
AI is advancing.
Yeah, AI is advancing.
Right.
And he goes on to argue
that our increasing reliance on technology is making us more
isolated, disconnected to each other, to nature, and
more susceptible to manipulation.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Really thought-provoking.
Good point.
Right. Are we becoming slaves to the very technology that we created?
That's a question to ponder.
It is.
For sure.
And then he takes it
even further.
A step further.
Suggesting that maybe our creation of advanced technology is part of
a larger plan
orchestrated by external forces.
Oh, external forces.
Like whether it's aliens
or
divine beings.
Something beyond us.
Yeah,
it's like mind-bending.
This really mind-bending idea, right?
For sure.
Are we just pawns in
this cosmic game that we don't even understand?
Yeah, we don't know the rules.
Right. And he doesn't really answer.
He doesn't shy away from these questions.
The question...
It's what makes this book
so compelling.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't give you all the answers.
But it makes you think.
But it makes you think about things in a new way.
Exactly.
And ask new questions that you might not have considered before.
Yeah. Speaking of lingering questions.
The book also explores the author's personal struggle
with anxiety and the search for meaning.
Okay. And I think
that's what makes the book so relatable
to a lot of people.
Is that he's so open about his vulnerabilities.
It
makes him feel
like
a real person, even when he's talking about
these extraordinary
concepts.
Yeah.
He talks about facing his fear of death.
Mm-hmm.
Grappling with the chaos
of the world.
Trying to find his place
in
the grand scheme of things.
It's
his exploration
of these mysteries is also
an exploration of himself.
Yeah, I like that he's not just talking about...
He's not just presenting himself as some kind of...
enlightened guru.
Who has it all
figured out.
Because I'm just a
guy.
Trying to make sense of this crazy world.
Yeah.
And here's what I've learned along the way.
Right. That's refreshing.
Right.
Yeah. And he doesn't shy away.
From the darker aspects. Either he talks about encountering negative energies, facing challenges,
and
even questioning his own sanity at times.
Oh, wow.
It's like...
That's intense.
This pursuit of knowledge can be...
a wild ride.
Right?
Yeah. It's not always
sunshine and rainbows.
No.
There can be some...
dark turns.
Yeah. But he also emphasizes the rewards for his journey.
Yeah.
The sense of wonder. The expansion of consciousness.
And the deepening connection to
something larger
than ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately
what keeps him
going. Okay, let's talk about one of the most
controversial
aspects of the book,
which is
his claim that history might not be
as
straightforward as we've been led to believe.
Okay.
So he questions
the accepted
timeline of human history.
Okay.
Suggesting that it might be
far shorter
than mainstream science claims.
So he thinks
he even speculates
that some events in our history, like the destruction of Atlantis,
the
Great Flood.
The Great Flood described in the Bible might have been caused by advanced technologies or extraterrestrial intervention.
Oh, wow.
It's like he's not afraid
to shake things up.
Yeah.
Shake things up.
Yeah, and he backed the provocateur his claims by pointing to the lack of physical evidence for civilizations older than a few thousand years.
Right, older than that.
He's not afraid to challenge
conventional thinking and make people question everything they
thought they knew about the past. I mean, it's pretty wild.
Pretty wild, right?
Pretty wild.
It's like he's opening up this whole new way of looking at history that incorporates
mythology,
fringe theories, and even
a possibility
of extraterrestrial influence.
Extraterrestrial.
It's definitely thought-provoking, and it raises some intriguing questions about who controls
the narrative.
The narrative of history.
And what agendas might be at play.
Right, and what's not left out.
Controlling narratives.
Yeah.
He also dives into this idea that there are hidden truths that are being kept from us. Whether it's governments,
secret societies,
or even extraterrestrial
beings. He's encountered.
He talks about his own encounters with censorship,
information, and the suppression of knowledge.
And
he encourages readers to be
discernment of information,
to question
authority, and to seek out
alternative sources of knowledge. Which is a really timely message in today's world.
Yeah, I mean, we're bombarded.
We're bombarded with information from all sides.
All sides.
He's essentially saying that we need to
take back
control of our own narrative and think for ourselves.
Yeah,
one of the things I found most fascinating was his exploration of the nature of time itself.
Oh, time. Okay.
So he believed that
this is not linear,
but more
like that spiral or a loop with past, present, and future
are all interconnected.
And
he talks about his own experiences
with precognitive dreams,
deja vu,
and
synchronicities as evidence of this
non-linear nature of time.
So
interesting.
And he even suggests
that time travel might be possible.
That
we might be able to access other points
in time
through consciousness.
Or
through the manipulation
of energy fields. Wow.
It's a pretty
mind-bending concept, right?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if maybe our perception of time is just an illusion. The construct of our limited
human minds.
Yeah,
we're just not seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And he even suggests, he goes even further, suggesting that perhaps the mysteries of places like Mount Kailash and the Bermuda Triangle
are connected
to the nature of time itself.
That
they might be
portals
or gateways of dimensions or timelines.
Yeah. That's
imagine
being able to step through
a portal and travel
to another time or dimension.
The possibilities
are
endless. Yeah.
That's right. That's the beauty of
the unknown. But he also cautions that exploring these realms is without its risks.
Right.
Yeah.
He talks about encountering negative energy, facing challenges,
even questioning his own sanity at times, right? Because you're pushing
the boundaries
of what we consider possible. Yeah,
and that can have consequences. So it's a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge, especially when it involves pushing the boundaries of what we think we know, can be both exhilarating and dangerous.
Right.
It's like a double-edged sword.
You know?
You have to be careful. But he also emphasizes, the reward of this
journey,
the sense of wonder, the expansion
of
consciousness, and the deepening connection to something larger
than ourselves.
than ourselves.
And that's what makes it worth it.
Ultimately, what makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's exploring
the unknown.
Even if he is venturing
into uncharted territory.
Uncharted territory.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I do. It's about pushing those boundaries and seeing what's out there. And speaking of pushing boundaries, the book takes a fascinating turn when the author delves into his personal experiences with the divine. He talks about experiencing the presence of Hindu gods like Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna during his meditations.
Wow, that's pretty intense. He's blending ancient spiritual traditions with his modern-day experiences.
It is. It's like he's merging ancient beliefs with modern experiences.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to be vulnerable either. He talks about his fear of death, his anxieties about the future of humanity.
Yeah, it just shows that even someone who's exploring these grand mysteries is still human, right?
Absolutely. He's just a guy on a journey, sharing what he's learned along the way. And one of the things he keeps coming back to is the idea that history might be a lot more complex and mysterious than we think.
He's suggesting that there's a hidden history, right? A narrative that's been suppressed or distorted. He even speculates that some major historical events, like the destruction of Atlantis or the Great Flood, might have been caused by advanced technologies or maybe even extraterrestrial intervention.
It's a fascinating blend of history, mythology, and conspiracy theory. He's weaving together all these different narratives to create a bigger, more mysterious picture of the past. And he encourages us to question the official story, to look for those hidden clues and connections.
He's basically saying, don't just accept what you're told. Think for yourself.
Exactly. He points to inconsistencies in the archaeological record, the suppression of certain discoveries, the influence of powerful groups who might want to keep certain truths hidden.
It makes you wonder who's controlling the narrative and why.
It does. And it makes you think about what other truths might be out there waiting to be uncovered. But for me, the most intriguing part of the book was his exploration of time. He believes that time is not linear.
Yeah, he talks about it being more like a spiral or a loop. Past, present, and future, all interconnected.
Right. And he uses his own experiences with precognitive dreams, deja vu, synchronicities, all those things, as evidence of this non-linear nature of time. He even suggests that time travel might be possible.
Through consciousness.
Through consciousness, through the manipulation of energy fields, who knows? It's a mind-blowing concept, isn't it?
It really is. It makes you question everything you thought you knew about reality.
And it opens up so many possibilities. Imagine being able to access different points in time, different dimensions.
That would be incredible.
But he's also careful to point out that there are risks involved in exploring those realms. He talks about negative energies, facing challenges, even questioning his own sanity at times.
It's a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge can be a double-edged sword. Some truths might be too dangerous to handle.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging the limits of our knowledge and approaching these mysteries with a healthy dose of respect. But he doesn't let those risks deter him from exploring. He keeps pushing forward, driven by that insatiable curiosity, that desire to understand the deeper mysteries of the universe.
And he encourages us to do the same, to never stop questioning, to never stop exploring.
And to always be open to the possibility that there's more to reality than meets the eye. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into secrets of Mount Kailash, Bermuda Triangle, and the Lost City of Atlantis. It's been a wild ride, hasn't it?
It has, full of twists and turns, mind-bending concepts, and thought-provoking questions.
We've covered everything from aliens and time travel to the nature of consciousness and the mysteries of ancient civilizations. It's a lot to process.
It is, but that's the beauty of it. It leaves you with more questions than answers, which I think is a good thing. It sparks that sense of wonder and keeps you thinking long after you've finished reading. Absolutely. We encourage you to check out the book for yourself and see what resonates with you. There's something in there for everyone, whether you're into spirituality, science, history, or just a good mystery.
And remember, keep an open mind. You never know what truths you might uncover when you venture into the unknown.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll see you next time for another exploration into the world of the unexplained.